Hi everyone, this is Anna. Thank you for clicking on to my YouTube channel, Anna's Take with a Twist. In this video, we're going to talk about this amazing book titled The Westies with the subtitle of Inside New York's Irish Mob. It is by T.J. English. There's a lot of great information in this book, a lot of great information in this video too. So please watch the video until the end. And if at any point you like today's video, please like the video. Of course, you can always leave a comment. And yes, of course, you can always subscribe. So T.J. English is actually an Irish American. He is the 10th of 11 children. Yes, 10 siblings. And he's also the author of 9 nonfiction books and 2 collections. The first book is The Westies, and the other books in order are Born to Kill, Paddywhacked, Havana Nocturne, The Savannah City, Where the Bodies Were Buried, The Corporation, Dangerous Rhythms, and The Last Kilo. So the first in the collection is called Whitey's Payback, and the second book is Blood in the Desert. It will be available in September of this year, so September of 2026. So one of the reasons I decided to read The Westies is because I actually haven't read that genre for a long time. And at the same time, I really do enjoy nonfiction books. I love nonfiction because it gives us a history of, how things were done, why, where, when, what, and by who. So obviously nonfiction, real people. So in this case, it's just ordinary, everyday people doing extraordinary and at times horrific and unbelievable things in a part of New York City called Hell's Kitchen. Yes. So of course, this book is about gangs and mobs and those kind of things. But in my opinion, it's also about love, hate, betrayal, loyalty, and self-preservation at its finest. I know, it's a very interesting book. A lot of human condition and human nature. So did it help that T.J. English has 10 siblings? Probably. Families are excellent teachers of a lot of different things, including, human behavior, human nature. But there's also other things to consider too, right? Like the fact that he was a high school teacher in East Los Angeles for 1 year before he moved to New York City in 1981. In 1981, he moved to New York to pursue a career as a writer and also as a journalist. And to finance himself, what he did was he actually drove cab on the night shift. Yes, you learn a lot about human beings and human nature doing that, I am sure. So he actually did work as a journalist at the Irish Voice when he was covering the lengthy RICO trial of the Westies. So RICO stands for Racketeering, or Racketeer Influence Corruption Organization Act. So in order to be charged with something under RICO, you have to have done 2 things within racketeering. So racketeering includes bribe, extortion, murder, arson, and mail/and/or wire fraud. So if you read The Westies, and I really hope that you do, then you will learn that the Westies were actually quite brutal. And they did 2 of those things, not in the course of 10 years. They really cut it down to, at times, 10 hours. Like I said, they were brutal. It's a very good book with the history. And I really enjoyed it because it was an excellent combination, in my opinion, of the investigative reporting combined with the description of people, places, and then of course all the phenomenal events, right? So in 1985, T.J. English was actually a key figure in the founding of the magazine Irish America. So he was a writer for Irish America and he was a writer for Irish Voice at the same time. It was actually during that time that T.J. English gathered information from over 300 sources and had just almost 100 hours of telephone conversations between himself and Mickey Featherstone. So Mickey Featherstone is actually a key member of the mob of the Westies. So the book The Westies really came about because it was largely based on the investigative work that T.J. English did while he was covering the police investigation and the trials of the mob members. So the first book of T.J. English, The Westies, has actually been in print or continuously available in some form since it was first published in 1990. It came out on March 19th of 1990. So that's just over 36 years. I'm going to tell you right now, in the publishing world, To have a book available for just over 36 years is like finding 400 four-leaf clovers. I mean, it's almost impossible, right? So I attribute all of that to the fact that TJ English is just like such an incredible writer, right? Once again, the investigative reporting combined with the description of the people, places, and all the different events. So my copy right here is actually updated. It has some new information in it. And I'm going to read the book more than once. I am telling you, this is just an amazing book. So here's something from the, you know what, here, I'm just going to show you that I have like written in this book. I have dog-eared it. I have underlined. I feel so sorry for the margins. I've just done everything. So, okay, so here's something from the back cover of my book. So updated for the first time in 15 years, The Westies is the classic best-selling account of New York's notorious Westies gang, which ruled Hell's Kitchen in the 70s and the 80s, and which then prosecutor Rudolph Giuliani called the most savage organization in the long history of New York street gangs. And here's something really quick, a review from LA Daily News. A fast-moving tale of criminal corruption in which, for a change, the good guys win. English pulls no punches. And then a quick review from the New Yorker. Sterling social history. The author's skillful reporting makes the most of his subjects. This is a really good book. Okay, so here is part of the description from the back cover. Even among the mob, the Westies were feared out of the partnership between two sadistic thugs, James Coonan and Nicky Featherstone. The gang rose out of the inferno of Hell's Kitchen, the decaying tenderloin slice of New York City's West Side. They became the most notorious gang in the history of organized crime, excelling in extortion, numbers running, loan sharking, and drug peddling. Upping the ante on depravity, their specialty was dismemberment. I know. I'm just going to say that the gang, the Westies, at most had 12 members, but some of those members actually had criminal side hustles. So there's a lot of crime, a lot of really interesting history in this book. I'm going to read you something really quick from page 169. So this is actually the name of a young girl, so not a province in Canada, okay? So Alberta had a entirely different take. Ever since she'd seen Eddie Kaminsky and her Uncle Jimmy carrying Patty Dugan's head down the stairs of her mother's apartment building roughly 3 years earlier, she'd become perversely enthralled by the world of Jimmy Coonan. To her, it was more exciting than any movie, more exotic and macabre than any story she might read in a book. Sometimes it was almost dreamlike. Like the Christmas when she was over at Jimmy and Edna's house in New Jersey. She went into the bedroom and saw her aunt's and uncle's beautiful new king-size bed. But she couldn't figure out why the mattress was all tilted. Why would such a beautiful bed have such a lumpy mattress? She went over to the bed, lifted up the mattress, and looked underneath. Alberta's young eyes opened wide as could be. There were literally hundreds and hundreds of $10, $20, and $50 bills. Some of them were bound together, but most were loosely tossed about, forming a huge pile on top of the box spring. I mean, so now we understand why people got into the mob, right? And there were some people who were trying to get into the mob and just couldn't. And there were some people who were trying to get out of the mob with like varying levels of success. I know. So I think the book is really divided into 4 parts, because first we have the prologue where we're introduced to Nicky Featherstone, who is once again a key member of the Irish mob, the Westies. And then we have part 1, which is like kind of like a history of Hell's Kitchen, back like going to like the 30s and all the way up to like to the 60s. Then we have part 2, which is really talking about 70s, the Westies in Hell's Kitchen, and then part 3 is the 80s. So once again, I'm going to refer to this book more than once in my lifetime. So the only reason I know of TJ English and his work is because I actually worked on the TV series The Westies. As a background performer, background performers are also known as extras. So I worked on The Westies. It was filmed here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is also known as Hollywood North. So I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity. Even though I'm not Irish, and production really tried to get as many Irish people as possible, there's only so many people, or in this case women, to go around that actually fit all the requirements. Like height, weight. I had to have natural hair color, a hairstyle that was, for the time, which was the 80s. At the same time, there were other restrictions or requirements, really, which were no false nails, no false eyelashes, no eyebrow blading. No tattoos, no excessive piercings, no fillers, no Botox, that kind of thing. You also had to be available for the wardrobe fitting, available for the day of work, comfortable working in a crowd scene, and then also for what was happening on the day, which, by the way, it was very exciting. I'm very happy I got to work on it. I'd like to thank everyone at MGM Plus for the opportunity, and to say that, it was a very good opportunity. Everything went really, really well, so thank you so much for that. The wardrobe was amazing. The food was amazing. Background holding was really, really good. It was downtown Toronto, so I'm really happy I got to walk to and from work, so that was great. At the same time, I was actually paid on time. All my paperwork, everything was in order. For anyone who doesn't already know, I can sometimes have a problem with background payroll. I have no idea why. It doesn't happen in any of the other jobs that I work at, and I do have other jobs that I do. So once again, thank you for everyone at MGM Plus. The TV series, The Westies, is a limited series. It's 8 episodes. Each episode is somewhere between 45 to 60 minutes long, and it's going to be available on MGM Plus or by subscription to cable services, and also on Prime Video. It's coming out on Sunday, July 12th of this year, 2026. So I'm very excited. I am going to watch the TV series. I'm probably going to binge it because, it's only so much money to go around. It's the economy. What could I say? Although TJ English has written episodes for crime drama, NYPD Blue, and Homicide: Life on the Street, he's actually not involved in the upcoming TV series, The Westies. So the series is actually created and executive produced by Chris Brancato and Michael Paines. So to be clear, I actually knew that TJ English was not going to be involved in the limited TV series, and I decided to read his book because, like I said, I wanted to learn more about the Westies, and I was very curious about them, and I'm really glad that I decided to read the book. Someone actually did purchase the book for me, so for that I'm really grateful. And I would encourage anyone and everyone to read the book, The Westies Inside New York's Irish Mob. Thanks again for watching, and it's taped with a twist to the very end. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for anyone who wants to get the book, The Westies, and I'm going to leave a link for TJ English. He does have a website. And thanks again for watching, and it's taped with the twist to the end. If you like the video, please like the video. Of course, you can always leave a comment, and yes, of course, you can always subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and it's taped with a twist, and that's a wrap.